Form 3, First Term, Science, Chapter 6, Properties of Light. From this lesson, we are going to learn about the properties of light, how the light enables us to see, and we are going to learn about luminous and non-luminous. Here, there are many sources of light in our environment. I think you all know what are the sources of light. Light bulbs, candles, and there are some mobile devices which are producing light. So, do light rays always travel in a straight line? So, have you noticed about sun rays that are shine through a thick forest? And have you noticed how light rays from the laser lightning travel in a straight line? How do they travel? So, remember that always light travel in a straight line, and that can be represented by a ray diagram. So, a light ray is represented by a straight line with an arrow in the middle to show the direction of light. I think you can understand it properly by seeing this image. So, the light rays always travel in a beam. We call it as a beam of light. So, there are some ways. Some examples for beams such as parallel beams, divergent beams and convergent beams. So just remember this. So then the pinhole camera. Pinhole camera is a simple camera, works based on the concept that light travels in a straight line. So you can see below an image of the pinhole camera. So it consists of a pinhole and a screen and an open side of box for viewing. So the pinhole camera lets light into a dark box through a pinhole. So the image of the object can be seen on the screen. So we will take a look at how does the images are formed in the pinhole camera. How can we see the image through the pinhole camera? So the light rays coming from the object travel in a straight line. We learned that before. Then light rays bounce in on the top of the object and goes through the pinhole and then hits the bottom of the screen. That means the light rays which are come from the top of the object hit the bottom of the screen, and then the opposite thing happens. The light rays which are comes from the bottom of the object hit the top of the screen. Then finally we can see the image of the object in the screen. There are several characteristics of the image which are formed in the screen of the pinhole camera. We will see what are they. You have to remember this. The image formed in the screen is smaller than the object. Look at the picture below. I think there you can clearly see. The image is smaller than the real object, and the image is an inverted image. So remember these 2 points. So what happened to the image if we enlarge the pinhole? When we enlarge the pinhole, more light rays are coming. More light rays enter the pinhole camera through the pinhole. Then what happened? More light rays from the object will hit the screen at more than one point. I think you can clearly observe in this picture. Then finally the image become bright and fuzzy, but less sharp. Image. Okay, so now you can also try to make a pinhole camera at home. So try the investigate activity in page number 57. So experience what's happening inside the pinhole camera. So shadows. So how shadows formed? Have you experienced shadows? I think we all have seen shadows. The shadow of your own and the shadows of some objects and shadows of trees. We all have seen shadows. How the shadow is formed? When the path of the light is blocked by an opaque object, shadows are formed. So look at the picture below. The light is the source of light, the lamp. So the light rays which comes from the lamp is blocked by the hand. So hand is the opaque object. So finally the shadow is formed. So there is a relationship between the distance of light source from the object and the size of the shadow. When the light source is closer to the object, shadow becomes bigger and less sharp. And when the light source is far to the object, what happens? Shadow becomes small. Look at the two pictures below. Then you can understand it clearly. Then there are two types of objects in our environment, luminous and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects are the objects which are providing light. They are the sources of light. Sun, candles, lamps, torch, fire. Those are the luminous objects. And there are non-luminous objects also. They are the objects that do not produce light. Moon is not a source of light. And the paintings, clocks and other everything in our environment. Trees, pens, pencils, everything are non-luminous objects. So, although non-luminous objects are not producing light, how we can see them? We can see the non-luminous objects when the light rays from the luminous objects bounces on the non-luminous objects and into our eyes. Look at this picture. The light rays from the luminous object, light rays from the sun, bounces on the non-luminous object. What is the non-luminous object? The rose plant. So, because of that, what happened? That light entered to our eyes. So then we can see that rose plant. Did you understand how we can see the non-luminous objects? Okay. So then I think you have got a clear understanding about this unit. So under the unit properties of light, we learn about properties of light rays and about the pinhole camera and how it works, and about shadows and how the shadows are forming, and finally we learn about luminous and non-luminous objects. So I think now you can do the exercises in page number 31 to 32 in your work. So thank you.